Alright, so we are doing exercise 9F and we're now looking at question 2. And this section is all about conditional probability, so let's get stuck into it. So we're told that suppose that a fair die is rolled and event A is defined as rolling a 3 and event B as rolling an odd number. Draw a Venn diagram and use it to find the probability of A given B. So this will be our end result, figuring out the probability of A given B. But before we get there, we need to draw a Venn diagram. So we're going to have to write down some key pieces of information. The first of which is going to be my sample space, which is going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, because we're rolling a 6-sided die. We're also told that we have event A, which is rolling a 3. And we also have event B, which is rolling, oops, that's a horrible squiggly bracket, which is rolling an odd number. So it's going to be 1, 3, 5. Alright, so now that we have all this information, we can begin to put it into our Venn diagram. Before I start drawing my Venn diagram, I want us to note the fact that A is a subset of B. And that's because it's almost like it is, A exists within B, because I have a 3 here, and that 3 is there as well. So when we come to draw our Venn diagram, B is going to be a bigger circle, and A is going to actually live inside of it, like this. So I could go, well, A has 3 inside of it, and B has 1, 3, and 5 inside of it, so 1 and 5, and I'm not writing 3 again because it's already here. And then what I also have to write is all the numbers on the outside, which will just be 2, 4, and 6, so just my even numbers. And as you can see here, all my sample space is represented 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So now I actually have to answer the question before us, which is, what is the probability of rolling A given B has occurred? So what does this really mean? So it's the probability of A given B. What this is telling us is what's the probability of A occurring if B has already occurred. So think about it this way. Imagine that I rolled a dice and only I saw the outcome, and I quickly grab it, I look myself, and I see that it's an odd number. And then I come up to you and I say, it's an odd number. What's the likelihood of it being 3? So I've seen it, I see it's odd, and then I come to you and say, what's the likelihood, given that I've seen that it's odd, that it's 3? Would you still tell me it's 1 out of 6? You wouldn't, because I've restricted the amount of numbers it could be. It could either be 1, 3, or 5. So why would you tell me it's 1 out of 6? I've just bettered your odds. I've told you it's going to be one of these. So another way we could think about this, it's the probability of the probability that 3 is rolled, given an odd number is rolled. So given that an odd number has already been rolled, what's the likelihood of my number being a 3? And hopefully it's really clear that the probability of this happening is going to be 1 in 3, because I've bettered your odds. If I'm only dealing now with the odd numbers and saying, well, what's the likelihood of it being 3, is going to be 1 out of 3. This question is really like a warm-up question, getting us ready for the more difficult conditional probability that is ahead of us. So really getting this idea down pat now is going to be important. Hopefully this video has been helpful to you, and I'll see you in the next question.